Hi, my name is Octavio and today we're going to be balancing chemical equations with the algebraic method. So let's get it started and we're going to make this happen. So here we got the N2 plus H2 and it is going to give us the NH3. This is our chemical equation that we are going to be balancing. As you can see, we have already made some changes on this equation right here and I'm going to explain you what is all of this. So the first thing that we need to do is to divide this equation in different groups. They can be many groups, like for example we have right here the group 1 that is going to be the group A, the second one that is going to be group B, and the third one that is going to be group C. But also we can have D, E, F, A, etc. We can have a lot of groups depending on the equation that we are balancing. But right now we have only 3 groups and we have 2 elements. So right here we are going to write how many elements we have in each group. For example, we have the nitrogen and the hydrogen. In the nitrogen we have 2 elements of nitrogen, which one it is right here, on the group A. That's why we are going to write 2A. And we have 1 nitrogen in the group C. The same case with the hydrogen, we have 2 hydrogens in the group B right here and 3 hydrogens in the group C. After doing all of these things, we're going to choose the group that most repeats in this little table that we have right here. In this case, it's the group C that we have already put right here. And now we're going to add like a value for this letter C, like C equals 2, 3, and the numbers that we can write for this algebraic method are 2, 3, 5, and 7. I'm going to write them right here. 2, 3, 5, and 7 are the only numbers that we can use for this algebraic method. Right now we're going to use the number 2. And with this data, now that we know that C equals 2, we're going to make some equations to get the value of A and the value of B. And after that, we're going to be able to balance our chemical equation. So I'm going to continue with getting the values. So we're going to do the equations to get the values. I have already made them, so I'm going to explain to you how we can make them. So we take in this one the values from the nitrogen. As you can see, in the last one we have 2A because we have 2 nitrogens in the group A and 1C because we have 1 nitrogen in the group C. So we're going to write these values right here, we're going to represent them, and we're going to do a normal equation. So we have 2A equals 1C, 2A equals 1 times 2, that is going to give us 2. And then we have the 2A, then we have the 2A equals 2, the A equals 2 divided by 2, and 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So we have A equals 1. That's the value for the letter A, for the data, yes, for the A. And now we have the values from the hydrogen that we get also. 2B equals 3C. We have 2 hydrogens in the group B and 3 in the group C. So we have those numbers right here, and the result from this equation was B equals 3. So now we got the easiest part of all of this process. After getting our results from the last equations, we have that C equals 2, A equals 1, and B equals 3. If you remember at the beginning, we assigned each of these a group. This was the group A, this was the group B, and this was the group C. Now these values, we're going to add them to each group. So C, well, let's get another. A equals 1, so we're going to write A number 1 right here. Now we have B equals 3, so we're going to add the number 3 right here. And C equals 2, so I'm going to add the number 2 right here. We can say like, yeah, that's it, and that's already balanced, but we have to prove that it's already balanced. So we have to write the N from nitrogen and the H from hydrogen. And this is when we prove if our equation is well balanced. So we have 1 times 2, it's gonna give us 2. We have 2 nitrogens at the left side. And at the right side, we have 2 times 1 because we got nothing right here. Right here we have nothing, so it's a number 1, 2 times 1, we have 2. So nitrogen is already balanced, it's already in control. And now we got the hydrogen. As you can see, here we got the 3 from the B group. 3 times 2 is going to give us 6 on the left side of the hydrogen. And on the right side we have 2 from the group C times 3 from the H that we already have. It's 6. So right here we can see that our equation is already balanced.